What's up, brioches? Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. So, I did make a video last week, but it didn't work out. And let me tell you why. I was remaking my gluten-free sourdough recipe. So, I got a couple comments mentioning that I should have cut the bread, which I 100% agree with. The only reason I didn't was because I was gifting it, and I didn't want it to go stale or anything like that to happen to it in the process of, you know, bringing it and cutting it, you know. So I didn't cut it. Ultimately, I should have. 100% I should have. That was my bad. But I tried to remake the recipe, and it turns out that gluten-free sourdough is a pain in the ass, okay? I do have a very good gluten-free starter. She's super active and healthy, bubbly, does exactly what I want her to do, rises and falls like clockwork. But for some reason, I just can't find this perfect sweet spot. So for now, as you probably can tell, I took down my gluten-free sourdough recipe on my videos, and I'm going to be remaking it and doing a whole new one. So if you care at all, there you go. If not, I'm sorry that you just had to sit through that, listen to me talk about gluten-free sourdough, which you probably don't care about at all. So yeah, let's just get to the point of what this video is. So today, I'm gonna be making a vegan brioche. And this is super, super exciting to me because I absolutely love brioche. And I wish that I could share it with my vegan friends and just my plant-based friends, dairy-free, anything like that, because this is so freaking good. So, with that said, I'm going to be making a vegan brioche, and it's actually pretty simple. The only two, actually technically 3 ingredients that I need to veganize are the butter, the milk, and the eggs. So for the butter, that's easy, earth balance, got it already softened, ready to go. Eggs, I'm going to be using aquafaba today, so I bought an abundance of chickpeas. This is not all I bought. I have 2 other cans, which is 4. So I guess that's not really an abundance either. It's just a lot of chickpeas. But yeah, so I'm going to be using 4 cans. Well, we'll see how much it actually ends up being. I need 250 grams of aquafaba. So yeah, and then I'm going to use the chickpeas to make a meal prep, which if you're interested, I can show you. If you're not, then again, I said that. But yeah, so I'm going to be using aquafaba instead of the eggs. So let's get this show on the road. I'm pretty sure you don't care about me talking. You just want to see the food. I get it. I understand. I feel you, brother. I feel you, brioche. That was really lame. Okay, I'm going to start doing this. I'll see you right now. I don't know why I said that. So I have all of my ingredients measured out. So then first, I'm going to add in the milk. Oh, the milk. Okay, first I'm going to add in milk. This is almond milk. Okay, so we have 156 grams of almond milk. And then to this, we're going to add in the aquafaba. This is 250 grams. And typically in a regular recipe, when you use aquafaba, you'd beat it. This one you're not. And then to this, we're going to add in sugar. It's 72 grams, and then 6 grams of yeast. This is instant yeast, and yes, you can make it with sourdough. I just did not because I just used my sourdough for a different recipe. Maybe I'll show you that if you really want to see it. And then we're going to add in the softened earth balance. Oh, okay. And then you can do this with a fork, you can do this with a whisk. I typically like to do it with my hands, but we're gonna kind of try to break it up a little bit, and then I'll go in with my hands. So we're just wanting to mix all this stuff together. Obviously, it's not gonna be cohesive because the butter is fairly cold. You just kind of want to break things down so it'll be easier to work with. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my hands. Yes, they're clean. And this looks disgusting. I know it does, and it feels disgusting too. And to this disgusting looking mixture, we're gonna add in 600 grams of flour and 12 grams of salt. So I'm gonna be using just unbleached all-purpose flour. Just gonna add it right on top. And then 12 grams of salt. Now I'm going to combine everything with my hands again until it forms just a nice cohesive wet looking dough. So this looks about right. It's nice and wet. We're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes so that all the flour can soak up the liquid and so that the cold ingredients can kind of ferment the dough a bit. So I'm going to cover it with my towel and let it sit. Alright, so now I'm going to put this dough directly onto the floured surface. I'm going to scrape out of it as much as I can. Okay, from my past experience, this is going to need a good amount of flour, so I'm just going to pour some flour onto the top. And then we are going to knead this until it tightens up, so we're going to knead it for about 10 to 15 minutes. Not 10 to 15, 5 to 10 minutes, I'm sorry. Just until it tightens up and becomes a little bit less sticky, because it is a very sticky dough. It's very liquidous. Okay, so now we're all done. I'm going to put it back in the original bowl, like that. And now we're gonna let it sit covered for about an hour and a half to 2 hours until it puffs up nicely. So I'm gonna stick it in the microwave, not put the microwave on, just stick it in there. And I'll show you that in a few hours. Here's our brioche dough. It's definitely gotten nice and puffy. It smells good too. We're gonna flip it out onto this floured surface. And we're going to cut this into 2 equal loaves. I'm going to stretch out the dough just a little bit. I'm going to take this side, fold it in, this side, fold that in, and then I'm going to fold this over, and then like this. You just want to turn this into a loaf shape, so typically you'll do 12 o'clock and then 6 o'clock. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean, maybe. And then you'd want to do it again, but I think that this one looks just fine. I'm going to stretch it out a bit and put it into the other greased loaf pan. By the way, I have these greased with Earth Balance. So now they look like this in the pan. They don't fill up the entirety of it, but they will. You're gonna let them proof a little bit. So I'm gonna let these proof for, honestly, I'll probably let them proof for about 3 hours because I'm gonna go to the gym and let them do their thing. Put them right here so you can see. I'm gonna let them do their thing, and then we'll come back to it later when they're nice and proofed before I throw them in the oven and show you where we're at, okay? Alright, so I just got home from the gym. I haven't looked at these yet to see how much they've proofed because it's been about 3 hours at least. So yeah. Let's see what we're working with. Holy chalupas! Damn. That thing got big. Alright, so I preheated the oven to 375. It's preheating. And yeah, I'm gonna show you when we get it in the oven. As you can see, these look gigantic and puffy. This looks like an ass, but we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to now brush these with just straight almond milk. Typically you would brush it with an egg wash, but plain almond milk on its own will do just fine. So I'm going to brush it with my burnt pastry brush. If you can see, I burnt it a while ago brushing butter on a skillet and melted it because I'm genius. But yeah, so let's just gently brush on these almond milk. Okay, now that I made a significant mess on the counter, I'm going to throw them in the oven. Okay, so it is 12 o'clock now. I have work in the morning, so we gotta get this thing on the road. This brioche has been cooling for about an hour and a half, I would say. Hour and a half. It looks really good. This one right here kind of deflated on the top a little bit, as you can see. And then this one is very bubbly. You can see all the air bubbles in there. And the only thing that I would have changed is typically when you're making a vegan brioche, the egg wash, you would want to use aquafaba mixed with milk and salt. I just used milk or almond milk because I figured it would be fine. Usually it's fine, but I would have liked to use it only because it would have provided a little bit of a harder shell on the outside. It's still gonna be delicious. I can already smell that, but yeah, I mean, I would have made it a little bit crustier, but it's got a really nice color. It looks great. I mean, look at that. Look at the curly little butthole. That's a weird thing to say. Let's cut her open. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Now it is time to try this. Oh my god, it looks so good. Look at that. Like, look at all those bubbles. There's a nice big air bubble in there. Oh my god, I'm dying to try this, okay. This is a damn good brioche if I've ever had one in my life. It's like the perfect texture. I was a little worried that it was gonna taste like aquafaba. Not at all. It doesn't taste like it at all. That is so good. If you're vegan, or even if you're not vegan, try this recipe. If you're not vegan and you want a real brioche, just sub out the ingredients that I use, the aquafaba, almond milk, and butter. Sub it out for the regular stuff. You'll love it. I give this a 10 out of, or 100 out of 10. I love brioche. I'm gonna make some brioche French toast for breakfast. Oh my god. And somebody else wants it now too. Stop! He's licking the loaf. I don't want to eat a whole piece of bread right now before bed, because I will not feel great, but I'll give you one last little close-up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned next week to see if I do what I do, or I was gonna say who I do, but stay tuned next week to see what I make or what I do or what is gonna happen, or I'm actually gonna post something next week, which I'm hopefully going to get back on track and posting every week, but we'll see what happens. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't. I mean, if you like my content, that is, but subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below. If you actually want to see me make something, let me know down below, because I'll do it. And yeah, I will see you next week. Bye.
Hello? You say hi?